What's going on, guys? Hunter Robinson here, back again with the perfect cast. Today's video I'm super excited about. Been working on this the last couple of weeks. Those of you who've been tuning into my lives and everything else, you know what it is. It's my bait tank. It's finally done. Had a lot of hard work, thought into this, and it all came together. It's finally done. Filled it up this week. Everything's working great. Super excited about it. Super excited to get this video out. So today I'm just going to show you guys kind of how it works and what I use to put it together. Let's get after it. Here it is. Pride and joy right now. Don't look like much, but I love this. Everything in this tank is custom. There's like 3 things that aren't, I should say. Starting with the first thing that is not custom is this 110-gallon livestock trough, oval tank, whatever you want to call it. This I did purchase at Tractor Supply for like 95 bucks. I will have a link down below in the description for it. I really like this tank. It has a nice drain down here, you can see. In the wintertime when I drain this, I can just unscrew that, and lucky for me, I have a drain in my garage. So let the water run right down into the drain. So I really like that about this tank. But yeah, 95 bucks, I didn't think it was bad for brand new. I did search around a while, looked on Facebook Marketplace even, and people are selling them used for pretty much what you can buy them for brand new. So I just went with a brand new one. Moving on from that, you can see the lid here. I did frame this lid out of 2x4s. I got all these 2x4s off of a job site that we were demoing out. And I was like, sweet, there's my frame. There's my lid for my tank. So I just kind of framed up a square there. Bought some screen that I stapled down below all around and pulled that nice and tight. That way no fish can jump out. And also I can still see down through there. I do want to add a light yet into this tank. I don't have that yet, but I'm looking into that, getting a light for it, just so I can see better down in there. From there, my door on my lid is another, this was a wood access panel for a ceiling. The whole ceiling looked like this, and this was the access panel, so it already had the hinges and everything for it. We were demoing this ceiling out too, and I took this. I wanted it because it's huge. It's the size of my tank, so when I open it up to scoop fish out, I have plenty of room to put a net in here and get fish out. Just so you guys know, the reason that I built this tank, I'll give you a quick little backstory. Do a lot of catfishing and working full time, and then coming home from work. And if you're going fishing on a Friday or Saturday, you know what I mean? You got to go out and catch bait. I need to get like 20, 25 fish every time I go bait fishing, and then rushing from a bait spot to the river. It's a lot of rushing around, which I'm trying to avoid now. That is why I built this tank, because now I can kind of go at my own convenience and store the fish in here to live throughout the week until I use them to go fishing. So that is what this tank's purpose is. I do have, you guys seen in my other videos, if you watched, I do have a bunch of smaller bait buckets that I transport the fish in, and I have kept fish alive in here for a couple days, but I wanted, it was time to upgrade, get something a little bigger. So I'm super excited about this. Anyways, we're getting off track there. Moving on, you can see, open up the lid, perfect. Leaning it up against my bench there. I don't have a handle yet. I've been using that bungee cord. But here inside the tank, we have 2 filtration systems. One is this awesome little box filter that was actually given to me after I had this all done. I was showing my neighbor this, and he was like, oh, I got a little box filter I never use. So it has some filter pads in there, and it has a small little pond pump in there, and it just shoots water directly out of that hose. It sucks it down through, filters it, shoots it back out like a jet. It's really nice, gets the water moving all around in here. Good filtration system. And then also over here, I don't know how well you can see it, that's from Harbor Freight, which I'll put a link in the description down below. That's a 600 gallon per hour pond pump, which I'm hoping holds up pretty well. I mean, I'm not putting any plants, or there's not going to be mud in here. Nothing's going to get sucked into that filter. So hopefully it holds up really well. Yeah, moving on from that is probably my favorite thing that I built during this. You can see I got these 1-inch corrugated hoses here from Home Depot. I have a link in the description from them. Here I just kind of tightened them down with some, these were clamps holding up like conduit. Again, from a job site we were demoing out. I grabbed 3 of these just to keep these hoses steady. I don't want them bouncing around everywhere, shooting water everywhere. So you can see I have 3 hoses here. One connected to my pump, feeds up through, actually goes into a spray bar that I have up there, which I will show you in a second. And then 2 hoses down below that filter and drain the water back down into the tank itself. These, I cannot recall the name of the fittings I used, but I did buy like some fittings when I drilled. I think I drilled 1 1/8 inch hole through this bucket. This is a square bucket. I didn't want to deal with a round bucket, and I put these fittings in, which have like a washer on the other side, and they're tight up against, but I didn't put the washer on. It was already like attached to the fitting, if that makes any sense. I don't know how else to describe it. From there, I just put it in, and I kind of taped it off from the inside and caulked the outside first. What I did use for the caulk, because I did attempt this one other time and it leaked everywhere, I just used regular silicone that did not bond to the plastic bucket. So I had to rip everything apart, and I came back, went back to Home Depot, and I found this stuff, which is awesome. Loctite PL adhesive sealant, marine grade. I think it's for like boats and stuff. There's a boat on the cover there, you can see it. This stuff is awesome. I did buy 2 tubes of this, and I used 1 tube all up, all around this, and it does not leak at all anymore. I'm super excited about that. And then I just threw some hose clamps on to kind of grab onto the fittings inside the bucket there, and that are coming through. Moving up into the bucket itself, you can see I have my spray bar there. I drilled a bunch of holes through. That's just some Polyflex pipe, and I drilled a ton of holes in the bottom that squirt out through. Right now I just have Scotch-Brite pads in there, and then a bunch of gravel at the bottom. I did order some more pads that I'm going to put up above the Scotch-Brite pads. And then there I just have like an old grate, like one that painters use to roll their paint out on. I just cut that in half, and I put it down there in front of my 2 fittings down there, so none of my gravel gets caught in my hoses and clogs them all up. I don't want that. So yeah, this pretty much fills up so high and then just starts draining, and it stays pretty consistent. I've watched it for a while, and it's working pretty well. So I'm super excited about it. And that's what we have. That is what I have made. Like I said, this is a custom made filter here, which is pretty awesome, because I know you can spend hundreds of dollars on them. So moving on from that, I think this one cost me like 70 bucks total with the hose. And the most expensive thing with these hoses, I think they were like 30 bucks for 20 feet of this hose. But yeah, moving on from that, I'm going to turn everything on, show you guys how this tank runs. So plug everything in here. You can hear it there. box filter now. There's that. So you can see my little box filter, which I do love that little thing, shooting water out just like a jet, man, like a jet in a pool. And then over here, my custom made filter, draining out water, really nice, good flow. Love to see it. It's awesome. This water, I think the fish are gonna do really well in here. I believe so. I gotta get a kit or something to test the water also. But then moving up, you can see how my homemade filter works. Spray bar. And that's what I'm saying. That's where it fills up right there. Like it doesn't get any higher. So I don't think I'm gonna have to worry about it overflowing. And with the grate there, no gravel or anything, it's gonna get in the block end pipe. So it should not overflow at all. So yeah, that is that. That is my custom bait tank that I'm super excited about. And once, I'm gonna let this thing run for like 2 weeks before I throw any fish in. But when I do, I am then gonna throw some better bait in. I love this stuff. You guys see me use it in my other videos. This stuff is amazing. I am not sponsored by it. I wish I was, but this stuff is great. So I will be throwing some better bait in every once in a while because I've used it in these little buckets and fish stay alive forever and are very healthy with this better bait. This stuff is great. I will have a link in the description for this stuff also. But yeah, that is my tank. Well, that is it, guys. Hope you guys enjoyed this video a lot. Hope this video maybe helps somebody out one day in the future. If you're gonna build your own bait tank, you know. Heard they're really useful. Can't wait to try mine out. I'm sure it's gonna be a game changer for me. I will do a video in like a couple weeks. I did want to say that. Once I have fish in here, showing you guys how the fish are doing and everything's healthy and all that great stuff. So yeah, if you like this video, please hit the like button. If you want to see more fishing content, please hit that subscribe button because I got tons of more content coming. Till next time, aye.